What's up, everybody? It's Christian from Stock Hours wrapping up the year with our final Thursday video. I hope everybody had a profitable and blessed 2024, and let's get ready to kill the market in 2025. So, today's video, what I'm going to be talking about is how to start the new year right, how to set yourself up for success in the upcoming year based off of how you performed in 2024. So, the very first thing you want to make sure you're doing in the new year is sticking to your style of trading that's been working for you in 2024. So the very first thing you want to do is determine the type of trader you are. There's so many different types of traders in the market. You want to make sure you're using a strategy that fits your personality and your characteristics the best. So, for example, some things that you want to be looking for are the stocks that you perform the best at, the time of day that you trade best at, whether it's due to high volume, due to trade setting up a little bit longer, whatever the case is. Knowing what time of day you perform best is very important. Another thing you're going to want to look at is how long your trades are. So the duration of your trade, whether you're in a trade for 5 minutes or you're in a trade for 5 hours, whatever it is, you want to make sure you're identifying that and establishing that in your strategy and your system so you know how to perform when the market opens. The last thing that you want to make sure you're doing right is position sizing. So everybody's sizing is going to be a little bit different. Just go based off of the last year, see what you perform best at, and stick with that size for just a little bit until you prove consistency for a while. So the position sizing is super important because you can have everything right, have the right strategy, know how to execute your trades, everything like that. But if your position sizing is off, either you're not going to really care about the trade because your sizing is so light, or you're going to execute based off of your sizing. So something I see a lot is some people would be sized in way too heavy. So now when their trade comes about, they don't give it enough room to hit their profit target because they're in way too heavy. They see that they're up a lot and they just need to get out right away just because the numbers on their screen are way too big for them to comprehend and way too big for them to execute on properly. So position sizing is super important so that you can make sure you're executing your strategy properly. Now the next thing you want to be looking at in 2025 so that you're sure you're executing, to the best of your abilities is to identify the things that are holding you back from being consistently profitable. So everybody's going to be a little different. I'll just give you guys a couple examples of some of the major things that a lot of traders do struggle with. So things like, lack of discipline, impulsiveness on certain trades, whether it's getting in or getting out due to just one little thing, willingness to sit out on certain trades. So sometimes, you might want to take a trade, but if your system or if your strategy doesn't call for it, then again, why do you even have a system in the first place if you're taking trades outside of that? So just the willingness to sit out on certain setups is going to help you a lot in the long run because it just comes back to sticking to your system and sticking to your strategy. So the more you stick to something that's profitable and consistent, then obviously that's better. So sitting out on the trades that are outside of your kind of style of trading is going to be very important in being profitable in the long run. Another thing that holds a lot of people back, this held me back a lot in the beginning, was just the revenge trading. So obviously, day trading comes with risk. Everybody loses money at some point. Nobody's going to have 100% success rate. So when you do take those red trades, it's very important to not jump right back into another trade just to get your money back. You have to, take a step back, just follow your system, understand that there's always going to be red days, there's always going to be red trades, but you have to come back when the setup is actually there, not just when you want to make money back because you don't want to be right on the day. Obviously, that's not going to be something that's profitable long term. So just stick to the basics. Just go back to your system. Don't revenge trade. Something that helps out a lot with that is just making a plan. So if you have a plan pre-market, it's going to be hard to trade outside of that. If you're trading outside of that plan and you have it written out, it's pretty obvious that you're doing the wrong thing, so it's very easy to see. But if you don't have a plan, that's where the more impulsiveness trades kind of come in, the revenge trades come in, and even boredom trades. Some people, if you're sitting in front of the screen for the entire market day, so from 9:30 to 4, if you're here all day, um, you might get bored at some point. Might want to just take a trade, really just to take it, just for the thrill of it. Obviously, that's not something you want to be doing, but if you find yourself in that situation, just make sure you write it down. Write down anything that's holding you back from being consistently profitable. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. It's all based off of your tendencies as a person. Um, so just identifying those things, writing them out, and keeping it kind of like in mind, like, hey, these are the things I struggle with the most. So when you go into the new year, okay, I can't do this in the new year. If I want to be profitable, if I want to reach my goals, I have to stick away from these, 3 to 5 things that are holding me back the most. So it's very important to identify those things so you know to avoid them. Now, on the flip side, there's going to be certain characteristics that are going to give you an edge over most of the other market participants or people that you might trade with. So, identifying those as well are also going to help you reach your goals because now you know where you perform better than most other people. So, again, just certain examples, just being a patient trader, just waiting for the right setup, not just jumping into anything. Even letting your trade play out is another sign of patience. So that's going to be something that obviously not everybody's going to have. So if you do have that, that's very good. It's important to understand that you have that edge over somebody else. So you might want to style your trading around something like that. A couple other things that might give you an edge over somebody else is just being very disciplined. Obviously, day trading and discipline kind of come hand in hand. You need to have discipline to be successful in trading, but if you're more disciplined than your average trader, that's obviously going to take you a lot farther. So that's another thing, if you do have that, just keep in mind in the next year. So, when you are taking trades, when you're, thinking about kind of whatever, just know that if you're more disciplined than somebody else, it can help you out a lot in the long term. Another thing that might give you an edge is just having a higher grade trade selection. So just being pickier on your trades doesn't really even mean it's better or worse to be pickier. It's just important to understand. This is kind of where I stand on that. So you can't just one day be very loose on your selection and then the next day be very picky. As long as you're consistent, I think it's pretty good. And then if you are looser, you have to know on the trades that are lower grade to size down a little bit. Don't use your full size because obviously on an A grade setup deserves a little bit more risk than something that's a C grade setup. So just knowing where you stand in the whole trade selection thing, whether you're a picky kind of person or a little bit looser, it's just important to see where you're at. So when you do reflect on how you're trading and you're journaling and everything like that, then you kind of know like the type of trader you are. And I would say like one more example of something that might give you an edge over somebody else is being a quick thinker. So in stock hours, we do a lot of scalping, and scalping is a very quick style of trading. If you ask almost anybody, hey, what do you think? Like, I get in and out of a trade in 3 to 5 minutes. Like, what they're gonna think about that? They're probably gonna say you're crazy. Just because they're not used to it. Most people, if they take a trade, they're gonna be in the trade for a couple weeks, months. So if you tell somebody, hey, I just got out of a trade in 3 4 minutes, they're gonna be like, whoa, like, what's this guy doing? Basically what you're doing is you're sticking to your system and your strategy. Yours is a little bit different than theirs, so they might not be used to it, but as long as you're consistent with how you're trading, then you could be a quick thinker and take really quick trades, and that's perfectly fine because that is what's working for you. That might not work for the other person who's taking 3 week long trades, for example. So it's just important to understand the characteristics that you have, the the edge that you would have on the rest of the people in the market. So let me know in the comments below, how did you guys do this year in 2024? Were you consistent? Are you profitable? Or are you still learning, still trying to find that edge in the market? Let me know in the comments below. And in our future videos, we're going to help you guys all reach that profitable stage. See you guys soon. Peace.